the lights turned off. Hold on.
I told you you'd make our blooper reel.
Automatic lights. I don't know what happened.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pinstripe Prospective, our look at the Yankees minor league system here on SNY. Along with Conor Foley, I'm Sweeny Murti. Coming up, a chat with one of the Yankees' top prospects, Austin Wells, first-round pick from a few years ago, who's been having a terrific season across two levels. But first, Conor, we should address one of the guys who had a very impressive minor league season, who just got called up, shortstop Oswald Peraza.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of uncertainty whether the Yankees were going to, give Oswald the call. And even, kind of right down to the day, he's playing in a game in AAA. He hits a home run, and then all of a sudden he's out of the game and he's getting hugs. So he goes up, and it'll be interesting to see how he fares up there. So far, he hasn't really gotten the, hand him the keys playing time that Oswaldo Cabrera got. He's kind of had to ride the bench a little bit. And, the Yankees have said they're sticking with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa as their starting shortstop. So it'll be interesting to see how Oswald adjusts to being on the bench for the first time in his career, really.
Peraza is one of these guys who's going to make Yankees fans feel very old. He's the first player to suit up for them that was born in the 2000s. Oswald Peraza is somebody to definitely keep an eye on. Anthony Volpe has had a terrific year as well. We'll touch on him in a little bit. But right now, Conor and I had a chance to catch up with Austin Wells, one of the Yankees' top prospects, a catcher at AA Somerset, and here's our conversation. All right, Austin, listen, I was going to save this for later, but let's not bury the lead. The stash, everybody loves it. What went into it, and how much do people talk about it?
Well, it took a little bit to grow, not a long time. I got a lot of hair, so it was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing in spring training, and it's stuck ever since. It has some hits in it, so keeping it around for a while. And it definitely gets a lot of attention. I feel like on deck, everyone's like, love your stash.
Is it universal, like, hey, we love it, or do people take opportunities to talk trash with you about it?
I think it depends who we're playing and where we're at. I think Mets and Red Sox fans, they like to talk it down a little bit, but I think they like it secretly.
All right, Austin, how are you feeling at the plate right now? Because, you're on a stretch you're pretty good.
Yeah, I've been feeling good. I feel better every game that I get to play up here. So I think the more experience that I'm getting, the more comfortable I'm feeling pitch to pitch. So, baseball is just in a game of adjustments, and I'm just trying to make those little adjustments each and every at bat, to be honest with you.
Austin, your plate discipline is something that attracted the Yankees when you were a college player, and it's really continued and grown in your short minor league career. Where does it come from? How did you develop it?
I really think it comes from being a catcher. I think I have a good understanding of the zone behind the plate. So when I go up there, I know what the umpire's tendencies of calling a ball versus a strike are on that 50-50 borderline pitches. So I really feel like just day to day, it's working with the umpires behind the plate gives me a better chance to take balls that are close that I know they're probably not going to call that day, or they might call and have to swing at.
Austin, watching, some highlights of you hitting, there's a lot of power that's just to center and to the alleys and stuff like that. Is that kind of a tough thing for developing guys to realize that you don't just have to pull the ball to hit, the ball really hard, that you can just kind of keep focusing on the middle of the field?
Yeah, that's what my dad has tried to always just instill in me is you're a gap to gap hitter. You're going to hit the ball hard to the gaps, you're going to hit your doubles, and the ball is going to go out naturally by itself. So my approach is just don't try to yank homers over the fence. Get your pitch and hit it hard, and good things are going to happen. So that's just really where I try to be every day still, since T-ball, Little League, all that stuff. So I think it's just been a gradual progression, just trying to stick with that approach for sure.
Austin, I think a lot of people looked at your offensive numbers coming out of college and said, okay, he's going to not be a catcher at some point. But I've heard from everybody that you really don't like that kind of talk, that you love catching. What is it about that position?
Yeah, I love the competitiveness of the position. I feel like at certain times it's just a completely different sport than all the other positions. You got both sides of the ball, calling pitches, and then you got to go up there and hit against some of the best pitching. So, I love just really just getting beat up back there and just being a part of the game and just going to battle with the pitcher and with the defense helps me stay in the game more, which is part of the reason why I started catching when I was young. It's just to help me stay more focused in the game. So I just love it back there, and it's just so competitive.
Don't you have to be a little crazy to be a catcher? And where do you think that comes from in you? Yeah,
definitely a lot crazy. I probably get it from my mom. Just kidding. She's not going to be happy with that one, but I definitely think you have to be a little crazy to catch. Like I said, it's just kind of like getting beat up back there. It's just part of the game, and I love that physicality of it for sure.
I have to believe that the highlight of your season at Hudson Valley was getting to meet Stanley from The Office. Is that pretty much the tops for you?
That was the highlight of the year so far, for sure. I'm a big fan of The Office, so having him come out to the game was super awesome. Getting to meet him, super cool.
And I'll bet you can't wait to get to Scranton, huh?
Yes. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be pretty cool up there. So whatever happens, I hope it comes soon for sure.
Minor League Baseball has become a track meet now. How hard is it to try to control the running game on a nightly basis?
It's definitely not easy. There's a lot of really fast kids playing this game, and there's a lot of rules that are just giving them even more opportunity to steal. So it's definitely difficult, but our pitching staff's doing a great job this year of really trying to kind of just go with the flow and try to hold the runners as close as possible to give us chances back there. So I know it's been something we've been working on as a pitching staff and as a catching staff. So it's been a lot better this year for sure.
Speaking of base stealing, I think you're still perfect overall in the career, right?
Yep. Trying to keep that going. On Sunday, it was a close one. I was like, didn't get a great jump on a steal and was a little nervous running. I was saying a prayer running in a second. So
yeah, all right. So how does this happen? Okay, according to Baseball Reference, you add in college, Arizona Fall League, Cape Cod League, and your entire professional career so far. You are 44 for 44 in stolen bases. I don't have high school numbers or little league numbers, but how far back does this go, and how did this happen to a catcher?
I don't know how it's happened, but I do know that our base running guys here and had a great coach in college, great coach in the Cape. It's just kind of just been consistent throughout the whole time I've been playing. That's like, you go when you have a good feeling about it and get a good jump, like you can go and go do it. So I really try to pick my times and be safe, really. So, I mean, I don't know, really.
All right, so here's the important question. Austin Wells is catching, and Austin Wells is on first trying to steal second. Who wins?
As someone who is trying to be a catcher in the big leagues, I'm going to say I'm going to throw myself out. But I would also like to be competitive and say I'd probably steal a base on myself too. So that's a hard question. I don't know. I can't answer it. But I'd say probably both would happen. If we had a game and there was 2 stolen bases, say 50-50.
All right, I'm going to give you a chance to make it up to mom right now, okay? She was a college gymnast. What did you get from her? What athletic skills and ability did you get from your mom?
I'd have to say all of my athletic ability. I think the smarts and the brain probably came from my dad, but being able to play baseball as well. But everything outside of that, I think I have to give credit to my mom, definitely.
So when you're bouncing around behind the plate and showing some of that athleticism, that's all mom, huh?
Yeah, you might see me doing some backflips. I don't know. Just if you see some crazy stuff going on, just think my mom gave that to me.
Austin, there's already guys who began the year AA throughout baseball that have touched the majors this year. And September obviously adds a little bit to that. As you look ahead a year from now, where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself?
I mean, if all things go well, hopefully I'm there as well. But, it's not up to me. I can only control the day-to-day, and what I really need to do is continue doing what I've been doing and taking my walks and hitting the ball in the gaps and continuing to improve catching-wise. So the only thing I can do there is just to continue to do that. And if they decide that that's what they like what they see, then hopefully it's as soon as possible.
A fun chat with Austin Wells for sure. Conor, we had the pleasure this year of chatting with many of the Yankees' top prospects. And earlier this year, we talked to Anthony Volpe, and wow, what a great year he had. And he's finally moved up to AAA.
Yeah, I got to drop the line, "Hey, you were on our show. Do you remember me?" with Anthony Volpe. So, gave me an in. But so far, so good at AAA. He's already got, in his first 4 games, he had 2 3-hit games, which, that's one way to make an impression. And honestly, Sweeny, you mentioned Oswald Peraza being young. Anthony Volpe seems so young to me. It's scary. And he's already handling things excellently at AAA. And, we'll see what he does the rest of the year. He's got a good month kind of to make an impression up here, and then we'll see what happens next year.
If you can't remember life without an iPhone, I think you're probably too young. I think that's where Volpe and the rest of these guys are going to start to come from. But definitely a good start to his AAA campaign. And I think spring training is going to look pretty interesting. Many of the guys we've talked about this year are going to be in big league spring training camp in 2023. And it'll make for a really interesting time for sure. For Conor Foley, I'm Sweeny Murti. Thanks for watching Pinstripe Perspective on SNY.